Hey, so I wanted to make this quick video because I believe that we are moments away from a breakout on the Bitcoin price. As you can see, there is a symmetrical triangle forming right here, and we're approaching the apex very, very soon. The RSI is basically reset, and I think with some of the other things going on in the markets that we're about to see a breakout. With the dollar, for instance, we've been seeing a consistent downtrend since the previous pump that we had, where the RSI over here was reaching overbought. And now we have over here the Dow Jones is almost fully recovered from its previous all-time high. NASDAQ fully recovered basically. And the 10-year yield is surprisingly up. It's above 0.7, which is something that I mentioned in the previous video. So our oil price is 2% up today, and some of the tech stocks are doing pretty good. Precious metals recovering, kind of trading sideways at the moment, but I think they're in the same situation as Bitcoin where they're coiling up and they're about to break out. So we can see this dollar either move down a little more, maybe a little bit below 93. And if we can see this, if we can see the Dow Jones close today above 28.3, that will be insanely bullish. But depending on how Bitcoin goes today, like I said, I think we're moments away from a breakout. We could have a breakout any minute now. One of the indicators that I've been using since we corrected back here on September 3rd was this. Excuse me. So I have my Bollinger Bands here. I'm going to hide some of these things. These Bollinger Bands. And then I added this indicator called Bollinger Bands Width, which is at the bottom right here. So with this, we can see that whenever we fall below 0.1, we start to make big moves. I could show you guys that. So let's just go back to our recent time where we went below 0.1. We were trading in this 12,000 to 11,300 range, and we got really coiled up in this area. This Bollinger Bands width broke below 0.1. As you can see, it came down here below 0.1, and then it almost touched to 0.5. And when we touch to 0.5 or below 0.5, we typically have a breakout. Now, it could break up or break down. It's just depending on the other factors that are going on in the market. But like here was a great example where the Bollinger Bands got extremely tight, and then right here we were breaking below 0.5 on this Bollinger Bands width. We got all the way down to 0.4. And what happened was a massive breakout. Here, we sort of knew this was going to happen. Once we failed at this 12.3 and then corrected back into below the trading range, touching down as low as 11.1, this retest here and failure the following day was a sign of going down. And I think a lot of people that are experienced were expecting something of that sort, because typically as we are in a bull market, we want to come down and test the levels of where we were previously. We'll go to the weekly and we'll show. So get rid of some of these things. So in the weekly, you could see the Bollinger Bands got tight here. We pumped up. We were testing these highs. And then now we're just coming down to test this previous level and this previous level as support. That's all we're doing. And we could tell because we haven't even broke below to that CME gap that everyone was talking about a couple weeks ago. So get back on the daily. What I'm personally waiting for is for XRP to break out, because XRP is my leading indicator. XRP and Ethereum are leading indicators for sure. So whenever I see this right here, this moment where we had a huge green candle in XRP, I had an idea that we were reaching oversold. And XRP is my main indicator to determine where the markets are headed. Now, we are aware that when Bitcoin starts to pump, which it hasn't yet, but it's getting close, as you can see, it's touching the top of this triangle. All we need to do is break 10.8, and I believe we're off to the races. So we're like $60 away. We almost saw earlier, we got to 10,760 on the Bitstamp chart. And yeah, we could have saw a massive pump if it just kept going a little more. But the dollar started to correct, and with the dollar correcting, it led to the Dow going from 28,570 down to about 28,400. So essentially, right around 9:30, when all the stock market opened up, we saw an immediate correction, and then the dollar started to pump back up a little bit. So as long as that's going on, Bitcoin is going to react accordingly, which means dollar up, Bitcoin down. I'm excited for this breakout because I believe what's going to happen is between now and probably the next 2 days, the latest is October 13th, we are going to see a massive pump similar to this one. What I would like to see is just a repeat of this and a higher pattern. So I'll just break out like the fractals real quick. I would love to see something like this. And I know it's unlikely. It's very unlikely, but I would like to see something like that because that would put us at the third week of October. We would be breaking above our previous, or yeah, we would be right about where we were on our second high before, comparatively to our all-time high, 20K, around 14K. And this will give us room that if the elections get a little weird, we can come down, we could test this 12.3 level, previous high of the year, test the 12.3 level to have a bounce back up. Because I think with all this stimulus news and with Donald Trump getting COVID and also with the KuCoin hack, there's been like 7 hacks in crypto exchanges in the last week. There's been 70 exchanges, particularly derivatives exchanges, that have closed down in the past year. So they're cleaning house. And the fact that all this negative news has come out, everything from the president getting COVID to the debates to the Mount Gox, essentially Mount Gox had that that really scandalous moment, and now they're having to pay back all their Bitcoin that they essentially stole. So once all of that news has played its way and Bitcoin is still barely breaking through, barely correcting whatsoever, it's maintaining this symmetrical triangle level. That shows me that we are going up. Now, the negative side of things could be if we break this 10.5 level, the next round is 10.3, I want to say, around 10,360, and then it's invalidated. We will break down back to 10, and if we fail 10, I think we'll fill that CME futures gap just to fill in those orders, and then from there, we'll basically just have to rewrite our TA. But the way this is looking, with all the negative news that has come in the last week and the fact that Bitcoin is just getting higher lows every single time, I do not see us going down. Unless something absolutely insane happens, I don't see us going down. So, a quick recap, dollar has corrected mostly for the week. We were at the highs on, excuse me, I'm looking at the weekly, my bad. So last week, we've seen quite a correction. Dow is almost back up to its all-time high. We've got the S&P 500. We're approaching all-time high. And I believe that gold is just coiling up the same way Bitcoin's coiling up, and we are due for a breakout in both Bitcoin and in gold. All we need is a stimulus date. Once they tell us when these $1,200 stimulus checks are coming out, it is game over. Bitcoin price is going to be up to 12K very fast, within a couple of days. So that's really what I think we're waiting for, because the stimulus news has caused way more havoc than anything else combined, even directly crypto-related news. So this is exciting. I believe we're moments away from a breakout. We might even see it in a couple seconds. I'll just keep this chart open for a second because I see that we're getting pretty close. It'd be great to have it live. So yeah, I'll just quickly go back to this chart. I'll put in some of my tools. I know this is really, really messy, but bear with me. So go to the 4 hour. This pink dotted line is our main symmetrical, the triangle that we're forming. Oh, there we go. Boom. Okay, now we have to get through this pink line. Once we get through this pink line, we're going to test up to 1083, or sorry, 10,883. See, we got resistance right at that line. You saw it. Okay, now we just got to hold this. So my levels are, we're going to go to 10,880, and then we're going to see around 11K. And what I believe is once we get to 11K, we're going to see extreme resistance at 11,100. 11,100 is where we need to break, because we want to break where we attempted to go when we failed on the 19th of September. So a couple weeks ago. Let me hide these drawing tools for a second just so you could see. We're getting up to the top of this triangle right now. It's going to be heavy resistance. I think XRP, if XRP can just break out, this Bitcoin price will skyrocket. Like I said, Bitcoin's my main indicator. We're going to want to get to this level, this 10,880. That's my main level, because once we're there, I think we'll be invalidating this parallel channel, and we'll also be breaking through this pink triangle, this main resistance, which is important. But obviously the most important to break is this white line, or I'll go back on my other chart because it's less messy. Let me get rid of this. So right here, this black line. This black line, if we break that, it's game up. Yeah, we're really close. Now I see the dollar's correcting a little bit, and then the Dow is almost up 150. The Dow is incredible. I can't believe, I don't mean incredible in terms of I support what's going on in the traditional markets. I just mean I can't believe how quickly it's recovered. For the negative sentiment we've had, it was like the moment that we had this one day after an all-time high, everyone changed and said we're crashing. And my sentiment from the beginning was, no, this is just a correction. We had the same thing happen right here in June 2nd. Okay, so when everyone was freaking out about this, it made no sense because, sorry, when everyone was freaking out about this, I was just looking back at this, where from that price to where we got back was about 44 days. So, I mean, I really don't understand. We might get back over there in less than that time. We're only, what, 2% away? And we still have how many days to go? 20 days before this next pattern. 20 trading days. So that's obviously like about a month, almost a month's worth of time. But anyways, it looks like Bitcoin's just getting its resistance like I imagined. We're literally $10, $15 away from seeing an even more massive pump. And I'm sure the volume's going to be, oh, there you go, 10.8. Yeah, we might get this on film. Yeah, that's crazy. 8,000, 10,850 in like seconds. So I think today will be the day of this breakout. I'm glad I recorded this video because I had an idea that this would occur. So let's just go back to my other chart real quick, and we want to see this parallel channel break. And here, yeah, we're basically doing it. I'm gonna get rid of my RSI because it's sort of unimportant right now. Yeah, the one thing I'm going to watch out for, though, is tomorrow. Fridays are typically really horrible for traditional markets because everyone's selling off. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. But, yeah, I mean, if we could get above this 11.1 today, and then maintain it, that will be absolutely amazing. We'll be able to maybe just test these levels as support if we were to come down this 10,900 level. That would be, I guess, the only next reasonable move to make would be to break 11.1, get to 11.3, and then test 11.1, or come back down to test 10.9. But yeah, we just have to see. See what the dollar's doing. So the dollar's really been stable during this pump. So that means Bitcoin's just ready to break. When I'm not seeing a dollar tank and the dollar's positive on the day, I mean, if this dollar was like negative 0.2% for the day, this would make sense that this price was going up like the way that it is. But the fact that Bitcoin's been trading sideways for so many days in this area, it's just bound to have happened. Now we just need to make sure that if we are going to correct, we stay above 10,780, and it would be great to close a 4-hour candle above 10,800. So anyways, I'm going to leave this video off here. Enjoy this breakout.